Chairman of the PNP's Manifesto Committee, Damian Crawford, says
And then helping us to monitor them, we just want you to reiterate or to remind them of the protocols and the behavior that is expected online. And we want you as parents to check daily what the child did. Daily or check randomly to find out if what is given is done, if the thing is marked by the teacher, is there any form of feedback? Now we know we're in the digital age. Technology is what is leading us, and we have to become familiar, and we have to get going, and we have to move with the time and move with the children. So you will be provided with your curriculum guide. Please help us to help your children by providing a device for them, and where we can go the extra mile, we will go the extra mile to provide printed material if we need to. And where we can go the extra mile, for the curriculum, the extra mile to provide as we go material, things will get a little bit better. And where we can go the extra mile, for the curriculum, the extra mile to that as we go on, things will get as it relates to better. And here we can go the extra mile for the curriculum with extra hope that as we go on, implementation September 1, 2020 through to August 31st, 2025. So some of our short-term and medium-term plans that we want to share with you today is one, we are working assiduously to move to a single shift. Now, Mrs. Harris will give you a little more information about that as it relates to the classroom and so on. When I am finished, she'll give you a little more update. We're looking at also upgrading the labs. That's the science labs, business labs, and the human ecology labs, also the industrial technology labs. We want to upgrade them so the facilities are better to facilitate the student population, that they can do much more in these labs than we are able to do now. We want to continue development of our leaders and the accountability of our middle management, students, and administrators. When we are given responsibilities as leaders, whether student leaders, regular students, parents, teachers, whoever, whatever our position is, we need to be accountable. So we want to continue to build the relationship, or to build on the development of these leadership skills, and to be accountable for whatever it is that we have to do. We want to continue to strengthen our Parent Teachers Association and our past students, alumni. It's very important that they are a part of whatever we are doing. We have gotten good support from both groups, and we want that to continue. So those persons who are not active in PTA, or as a parent, if you're a past student, we want to encourage you to be a part of the Parent Teachers Association if you are not at a part, and our past students, alumni, if you are not at a part. Mr. Carter would have given you his number, and you can make contact, and then we take it from there. We want to revitalize the homework program. So we want to revitalize our homework program to include any form of intervention that might be necessary for the children before we get to the end of the year. We want to continue to maintain our website so that much more can be shared on our website. So we want to continue to work on that. The STEAM program, we want to continue to develop the STEAM program as well. And we also want to incorporate boys' education in the school's curriculum. We know boys learn different from girls. We don't want to shortchange them. We want to make sure that they have equal opportunities in the school space and in the learning system as the girls have. So we want to incorporate boys' education. We also want to improve the school's physical infrastructure and the environment. For us to keep our building in stable condition, we'll have to continue to improve what is there and what is around us. Mrs. Harris will speak a little bit more on the infrastructure and the improvements that we have started. Our network system at school, we want to continue to improve and upgrade so that during our time now of spending a lot more time online, we'll be able to get through what we have to do without any problems. So we want to continue to upgrade and improve the networking system at school. We also want to increase by 3% the passes by 3%, the pass rate by 3%, we want to increase that. We also want to ensure that we promote healthy lifestyle among our students, parents, and staff. So healthy lifestyle is important. And at this time when we are going to need to be using network a lot more internet, more electricity, more of everything, we want to provide an energy efficient school. So we are working on that also. A few more things we want to look at is upgrading the library. The age we are in now, it's not about books, but in terms of paper, in terms of online. So we have to get our library to that place where it is known as a state of the art library, and we are going for that. We want to continue to improve our customer service to the point where we are providing it excellent. So we want to have excellent customer service for all our customers, to include our parents, our students, and our teachers, and just about anybody who will visit us. Increase use of technology in the classroom, we want to get there as well. And we want to improve our storage system in terms of our files and so on electronically. So we want to look at storing our files and our data electronically, sorry. And finally, we want to continue and to maintain a vibrant counseling program. You heard the programs that our counselors outlined for us that we'll be looking at for this year. And I am sure with you as parents on board, past students on board, students, staff members and all, I am sure we will all benefit as we put our hands and hearts together. Parents, please remember your child education is your investment, and we want you to get good returns. So we are asking that you work with us, work with them, and just let's work together as we encourage them to get what they can and be the best they can. Thank you very much. Mrs. Harris.
Thank you so very much, Mrs. Palmer. We will take on that Mrs. Palmer had gone through in terms of our curriculum that we will be utilizing, as well as our school improvement plan. And it's a new school improvement plan that we are moving to. And it's our 2020 to 25 school improvement plan. At this point, we're going to be taking Mrs. Fraser Brown, who will be doing in terms of our psychosocial support and our guidance support. Mrs. Fraser Brown.
Thank you, Mrs. Harris. Good evening, everyone, parents, students, teachers, colleagues, everyone. Good evening to you. Welcome. Let me take time out to say welcome back. We are looking forward to a great school year. And I know somebody may be thinking a great school year with this pandemic. Yes, we're looking forward to a great school year, because if we work together, we can achieve a great school year. Let me take time out to reintroduce the members of the guidance team. We have Mrs. Holmes Forbes, who is the head of the department. We have Miss Mayer and yours truly, Mrs. Fraser Brown. And all three of us work together to meet the psychosocial needs of our children. And yes, we say that they're our children because when they are in our care, they are our children. So they are your children and they are our children as well. Now we are in a very uncertain time, right? And you've been here in this unprecedented time. COVID-19 cases are going up and everything seems to be out of control. And naturally, when things become out of control, when our system becomes disturbed and out of balance, all sorts of negative emotions start to come at us. So we start to feel anxious, we start to feel frustrated, we start to feel depressed. Some persons may feel fear, just feel stressed out, just a myriad of emotions. I just don't know where to find peace, right? I don't know if anybody can relate. I know I certainly have those moments as well. But just imagine if you are feeling this way as parents, what our children are feeling. At times we tend to think that they are concerned with teenager things, right? They're not really concerned about what is going on. But the truth is, if you really stop to listen to them, you will find that they too are experiencing these very same emotions, very similar emotions, and it comes across in a myriad of ways. And so, in recognition of this, as the guidance department, because we are committed to the psychosocial well-being of our children, because we know that they cannot learn or they will not learn very well if they are not mentally and emotionally and socially developed and stable, we have come up with a plan in this specific for this particular time, in addition to what we've already been doing, to ensure that our students find some amount of stability in the midst of the uncertainty, right? And we are asking that you as parents come on board with us. Yes, you've been hearing it from the beginning of this meeting. Now more than ever, collaboration is important. Working together is important. That's the only way we'll be able to create a stable environment, create some normalcy in the lives of our children, right? We want to work together to create a safe space for them. When a safe space is created, then they can come to school and they can do what they need to do, achieve the highest possible learning, and be well, move on to great things. And so we're inviting you to work with us. We have come up with what we call a 5-point plan, and that 5-point plan was really inspired by our current political climate. You know, you hear about the 10-point plan and the 15-point plan. And so we want to come up with a 5-point plan. It is very simple, very basic, but it's also very comprehensive. And we believe that if you as parents do your part and we as counselors do our part, then we will achieve great things. So I will go through each point and I will explain them as I go along. So the first point is to reminding our students of what the do's and the don'ts are as it relates to before coming to school, on their way to school, that includes on their way to school, during the school sessions, and after school. We want to remind them daily, constantly, hourly if possible, as it relates to the protocols concerning the COVID-19, what they're supposed to do, what they're not supposed to do. And you've been hearing it over and over, the social distancing, the wearing of the mask, the sanitization, just encouraging them, reminding them daily before they go to school. This is what you're supposed to be doing on the road, on the bus, if they have to take the bus, things like that. Remind them. They can't remind them too much. They at times forget and need to be reminded as adults, so they too, even more so, need to be reminded. And we will be doing the reminding as well when they are at school. Second important point, reinforce. Similar to remind, but reinforce is a bit more. It takes it a step further, right? In order to be able to reinforce, and that is really to strengthen the behaviors that we want them to engage in, we should practice what we preach. So it doesn't make sense that you tell the child to wash their hands and to do this and to do that, and then you're doing something completely different. They will do what they see you do and not necessarily what they hear you say. And so we are encouraging you to do what you need to do as well, to be an example for them. And certainly at school, we will be making sure that we practice what we preach. We will also be doing what we need to do. Second thing, encourage and discourage. What I mean by that, encourage positive behaviors, right? So if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, highlight it, make a big deal out of it, so that they know that, yes, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. That will further increase the behavior. Discourage what they're not supposed to be doing. So don't look at it and ignore and be like, oh, them picking and them hard at hearing and them difficult, just leave them alone. No. Discourage the behavior. Find ways and means to remind them that, listen, you're not supposed to be doing this. Don't do this. This is what you're supposed to be doing. Do this. So encourage and discourage. And the last point on the reinforce is emphasize personal responsibility. This is what I strongly believe, that if we as Jamaicans, as a people, as a world really, if we were emphasizing or we were taking personal responsibility, the spread of virus would have been slower, right? It wouldn't have been the impact wouldn't have been so great. But because we have really been disregarding the protocols, we are finding ourselves in our current situation. And so we want to encourage the students, encourage our children, emphasize that they have a role to play. You can stop the spread, I can stop the spread, we all can stop the spread if all of us do what we are supposed to do. So emphasize personal responsibility. You can do it, I can do it. I can save a life, you can save a life. Reinforce, reinforce, reinforce. The next one, reassure. A very important part of this plan. It's actually one of the major points in the plan, I believe, because this is where a lot of the psychosocial support that you've been hearing about comes in. Right? So you need to be able to find out what is going on with them. How are they feeling about the situation? What are their thoughts? And then you try now to encourage them, try to mitigate the fears and encourage them, let them know that it's going to be okay if they do what they need to do. But you can't know how they're feeling if you don't ask them. They need to ask them, you need to observe what they may be doing, hear what they're saying about coming to school or not coming to school, or even just function on a day-to-day basis. Discuss it with them. I'm not asking you to be counselors because as counselors we'll be doing our job at school as well, but we're asking you to do your part as well to encourage them. So you will find out about what they're thinking, what they're feeling, observing their behaviors. And when you find out and get an idea as it relates to what is going on with them, you want to use positive, comforting, and encouraging words. Right? Be positive, be comforting, be encouraging. We know what the news is saying, but still be positive. They will look to you for a response, so give them a positive, a comforting response, and they too will respond in kind. Demonstrate a positive attitude as well, right? So you can't be assuring them at the same time you are freaking out and you are worrying and you are acting all crazy, for lack of a better word, right? Demonstrate a positive attitude as well. As I said before, they will feed off of you and they will respond based on how they see you are responding. And if your child is showing signs and symptoms of probably depression or severe anxiety, and you know that just talking to them won't help, refer them for counseling support. Get help. And further down, you will see a slide with the contact number for the counselors that you can reach us on. Number 4, refocus. The truth is, learning has to go on. Your child will not be in high school forever. Your child will have to do CSEC. They will have to move up. They will have to find a work down the road. We don't know how long COVID will be here. So the truth is, we have to get back to the business of learning. And so remind your children that school is coming up. And even though we have all of these things going on, we still need to learn. Academic is very important, and so it's time to refocus. As we said before as well, it may be face-to-face, it may be online. Whichever modality that we take, make sure that you monitor activity. Sorry. If it's online, make sure you monitor what they're doing online to ensure that they are doing what they are supposed to be doing. It's very easy to get distracted, to go and play a game or to look on something on social media versus going online to do schoolwork. We all know schoolwork is not so fun sometimes, right? So it is important for you to motivate them, for you to monitor them, let them know what is right, what is wrong as it relates to use of the internet space. We will work on teaching them about what we call nowadays digital citizenship, because they are now digital citizens, so they need to know the appropriate way to operate online, in the online space, so they can protect themselves and also do what they need to do appropriately. And last but not least is relaxation. We are not designed to be in a constant state of stress and misery. We need some time to let down our hairs and just relax and have fun. Now we can't go to the beach and we can't go out to the movies, but we can find creative ways and means to have fun, to relax, whether it is as a family or individually. Give them some time to relax and to let down their hairs and have fun. At school, we'll also be teaching about relaxation techniques and all of those lovely things to help them to relax and to de-stress as they go through the process. The methods of support, how we'll be offering all of the support that we have told you about on our part. Classroom, there will be guidance sessions, so we'll be doing a lot of psycho-education in those sessions, offering a lot of psychosocial support in those guidance sessions. We know that there are some times when you need a bit more extra attention. Some students need a bit extra attention. So we'll definitely seek to offer small group sessions, small group counseling support, as well as individualized support as we see the need arises. So those will be methods of support that we'll be offering as a guidance department. So these are the numbers, sorry, You may contact us directly or via WhatsApp. These are the 3 numbers that you can reach out to us on to get support for your children, and we will definitely be responding. Additional source of support, the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, they also, through the National Parenting Support Commission, have launched helplines to provide psychosocial care to parents across Jamaica. At the bottom of the screen, you will see all the numbers there that you can reach them at. And finally, before I hand over to our principal, just want to leave a verse, a reminder with you. And it reads, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." These are very timely important words from the Lord to remind us that we are not alone. And with his help, we shall overcome. God bless you. Looking forward to working with you. Back to Mrs. Harris.
All right, thank you so very much, Ms. Fraser Brown, for that very, very timely reminder. And for us colleague parents to know that there is an avenue to which we can reach out to. We have the Calling Counseling Program for Psychosocial Support for our students, and the numbers are as listed. Know that there is an get them a little later in the agenda. But as we move on with our agenda, just to remind you now, at this point we will be taking the presentation from Mrs. Bogle-Harcher. She is the sixth form assistant coordinator, and she will be speaking to you about the expanded grade 12 program and the general sixth form program here at Bridgeport High School. Mrs. Bogle-Harcher, your turn.
Good afternoon, colleagues, parents, and students. Please allow me to share my screen. Okay, so today I'm presenting on the extended sixth form program. In addition to our traditional sixth form program, which offers up to 21 CAPE courses, an extended sixth form program will be introduced in the upcoming school year. We are aware that some students may not have attained the level of passes they desired or the number of subjects they were aiming for. The aim is to keep these students engaged in continuous learning. What is the extended sixth form program? It's a technical-based pathway which allows students leaving grade 11 to transition into a grade 12 program without meeting the requirements of the traditional sixth form program. How can students qualify? Well, students must pass 3 or 4 CSEC subjects, and passes can be grades 1, 2, or 3. What are the courses offered? Now, the core courses of which students are to choose one includes nail technology, customer service engagement, and barbering. Now, we are aware that we could train our students and we get excellent nail technicians or excellent barbers. However, they are not able to engage customers, keep customers, reach customers. They don't know how to develop a business plan or to seek financing for their business. And as such, we have also implemented a supporting technical course in employability skills, which is compulsory. The components of this course would include areas such as entrepreneurship, career development, and customer service. In addition to doing those courses, additional opportunities will be granted to our students, where students will be allowed to do 1 or 2 CSEC subjects of their choice. So if, for example, they weren't successful in a subject, or they want to do an additional subject, the school will accommodate them in doing those subjects. Students doing over mathematics will have the option of doing CSEC or the City and Guilds exam. The government will subsidize for City and Guilds. However, students must pay to sit their CSEC exams. Now, after successfully completing the program, meaning the student has done one core course successfully and has also done the supporting technical course in employability skills, the student will have the option to matriculate into our traditional sixth form program. And this is based on them obtaining 5 CXC subjects with passes at grades 1 or 2, English being compulsory. Now, please note that application for a sixth form program is still open and accepting application forms from students. Application forms can be picked up at our security post. In dropping off the application form, it can be dropped off at the main office. It must be dropped off in a sealed envelope, and an application fee of $1,000 is to be paid. The office will be open Monday to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. However, it will be closed this Thursday and this Friday. Now, in preparing the envelope with the application form, students must ensure they can use this format in writing the information. We must have the student's name, the student's phone number, the parent's name, could be one parent, and a parent's number. You could put both parents or one, or your guardian. And it must be addressed to the principal of the Bridgeport High School, the address of the school. And on the envelope, you must write sixth form application. Now, with the support of all stakeholders, we are confident that this program will be a success, as it can only contribute positively to the development of our students. Thank you. Over to you, Mrs. Harris.
Is the primary, but if you go there,
okay. All right, colleagues, good afternoon again, and let us thank Mrs. Boga Arch, and we're going to move right in terms of continuing with the agenda, and we should be out of here and complete our agenda. So we have done all the presentations. I'm just going to let you know that for persons who aren't able to log on to the Zoom platform, that the YouTube link is up, Bridgeport High School Television. It's now up to the direct link. I know teachers are also posting to their groups for parents to log on. So we just want to apologize for the glitch that we had earlier where the sound wasn't coming. My apologies profusely for that. So I'm going to be asking you, now it is up and running, and persons can now log online. We will also have the recording of the meeting placed on the YouTube channel so persons can make reference to the meeting later. There are persons who had raised their hands. There's a section for question and answers. We will take those questions. We will also be answering the questions from the chat as well, to ensure that those queries, those questions that are being asked are answered as well. So persons who had raised their hands and during the presentations, we weren't able to acknowledge at that time. Could you please type the question in the chat so we can answer those comfortably in the question and answer section. We are moving now to any other business, and these are the matters. And if there are others, we'll take them later. For PEP registration, I just want to let you know there are some persons who have collected packages. There are parents here who are returning parents, and parents who are parents of PEP. Parents who may know students, other parents who are getting their child in for September, October. Persons have collected packages but have not completed registration. We're going to be, we're still opening, and just to let you know that the main office is open from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. to facilitate persons accessing the main office. So prep registration takes place. Also, for persons who have not yet, as Ms. Boga Archer would have indicated, for sixth form application, if you had missed the deadline, sixth form application continues, and persons can drop off your application with all the necessary documents the same time, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. For this week, parents, just to let you know that the office will be open tomorrow, but will be closed on Thursday election and also on Friday, because on Friday we're having a meeting with the administrative staff, the ancillary and the security staff members on Friday. So the office will be closed this Thursday and Friday. Please note, for Bridgeport High School, we're using our school for election polling stations. So it will be definitely closed on Thursday, and on Friday we will be having staff meeting. So we will be back as per usual for the main office opening for regular business on Monday onwards. For uniforms availability, I will just let you know, parents, for the uniforms that are available at this time, grades 8 to 9, and these are for shirts. We have sizes 14, 16, medium, and large. Grades 10 and 11, we have sizes 14, 16, medium, large, extra large, and double X large. For tunic and blouse for girls, grade 7, just let me apologize for that. There is an amendment calendar of events. I will let you know more about it. For uniforms availability, for girls, grade 7, we have sizes 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 18, extra large. We do not have any size 14 at this time. Grades 8 and 9, size 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18, and extra large. Those are in stock. Grade 10, size 8, 10, 16. We have 18 blouse only. Grade 11, sizes 8, 10, 12, 16, and extra large blouse only. So those are the availability of uniforms. We should be getting from our suppliers soon, and we will let you know what are the ones we have in stock. For the amendment calendar of events, I'll let you know shortly what are those, because we had to change all of that which we had for September onwards. For part student and MOE special consideration, Mrs. Palmer would have told you about the tablets for grade 7 to 9, and for laptops for grade 10 to 13 that the Ministry of Education will be provided for part students. For external examinations, just want to remind our students, or returning students for grade 11, we will be starting school in the 14th of September for grade 11 and grade 13 students online. But come October 5, we will be having face-to-face and online teaching. But I want to remind the grade 11 students and for students on the accelerated program that on a normal basis, payment for CXC is in October. But we will await CXC to find out at the point when is it that we will be paid for fees. So parents, even though it may be a little later this year because of COVID-19, I wanted to bear in mind that on a normal basis, that payment for CXC examinations would have been October. Also to remind the students that what we will be using for any assessment or any determination for the accelerated program is what you would have done in semester 1 examinations. There will be no reports for semester 2. We will be doing revisions when we come back in school, but it is not for a report for semester 2. So semester 2 report for the calendar year 2019-2020 would have been cancelled. So when we move in for the accelerated program, it's what would have the results from semester 1 exams. Once your students would have gained 70% and over in their examinations as their overall average, the students will be placed on accelerated program and will be able to sit CXC exams at grade 9, up to 3 CXC exams, and this a similar pattern for grade 10, separate and apart when they move to grade 11, separate and apart from the subject that they would be doing in grade 11. So that's it for external exams. So accelerated students for grades 9 and grade 10 and grade 11, payments usually on a normal basis would have been in October. At this point, we're going to be taking question and answers, and then we're going to be moving to the calendar, the change of calendar in terms of dates for meetings.
Mrs. Harris?
Yes, miss.
Questions from the chat. One person would like to know if we're going to be having our regular evening school program.
All right, Mr. You're moving. Are you taking the chat from the top? Or
I'm going from the top down.
Okay, for the evening school program, registration has started, and the brochure for evening school is here at present. So those persons who are interested in evening school, registration has started. You may come in and collect your form and register at the same time.
Thank you. Another parent would like to know if he or she will be allowed to see his or her child's classroom on the first day of school.
I want to cautiously answer that for the parents who would like to see the classroom. For the month of September, since we're not having a class, the parent can visit and we will have a guide in terms of moving to see the classroom. But when the students come in, it's going to be very, very hard to facilitate parents at the particular time, because in terms of the number that we have on campus, we are not able to accommodate parents moving into the space that we have, because we are limited in terms of our space and the number of persons that can be facilitated. So in terms of if persons want to come in, or when you come in to purchase your uniforms, I know one of our staff members, one of our support staff members can give you a tour of what the classroom looks like. When I show you, when we move from the question and answers, we're going to be looking at the dates that we have settled for parents to do our next orientation, virtual orientation. In that we're going to be having a virtual tour of the school as well. So you will be seeing that in terms of a virtual tour. But if person want to physically see classrooms during the month of September, when you come in, either for one thing or the other, you can come to see. But whilst school is in session, where we are only going to be facilitating some classes on some days, we can only facilitate the students because we cannot accommodate too many bodies on the compound because we have to be trying to be as safe as possible. Ms. Pepper.
Thank you. There is another parent who was expressing concern because she's not able to access Wi-Fi. A number of situations she's not able to access Wi-Fi, so the child will have to connect using data. I guess the question is there anything that can be done to assist these children who may have data and may have a problem in terms of connecting with Wi-Fi?
All right, parents, one of the things that we have experienced over the pandemic and our trying to access classes and moving with our students is that there are some persons who have difficulty with distant learning for varying reasons. Reasons being one, connectivity. And there are some persons who do not have, the instrument that can carry the load. So we are cognizant of that. So for when we have the days for distant learning, we will also, in terms of assisting students and parents, a lot will be done in terms of directing to source of information, either through the use of the curriculum guide and the text or printed material or a combination of sorts, along with going online, because there may be persons, and we know that there may be persons in terms of affordability cannot afford an instrument, or some may have, and the problem of having connectivity. So there will be guided assistance, and when the students return for school, we will also have the teachers who will at least do a revision of what is it that the students are supposed to have done over the period that they would have done worked online. All right, so in trying to assist, that is what we will be doing.
Excuse me, miss, just to add to that, the persons who would be experiencing challenges, we would love to know before, so the preparations can be made to give the assistance.
Right, thanks, Mrs. Kalman. And again, persons, you can inbox us if there is any such inbox the WhatsApp number. I'm going to be sharing them with you at the end of the program as well. Ms. Beckford?
There is another parent, Mrs. Harris, who was concerned that last term the child and parent were not able to contact the teachers and never had contact. So they wanted to know if what can be put in place. But Mrs. Tingle Reed has been inserting email addresses. So Mrs. Reed, can you just repost the email address? And as Mrs. Harris said, the WhatsApp numbers will be there. Mrs. Harris will speak further to that in terms of contact for teachers.
All right. Colleagues, in terms of contact for teachers, the teacher will share contact on his or her own merit. It's not something that we can say, let me give you person's personal number. What we have contacts for the school, contacts for the counselor, contact for the dean that we would have shared with you. Also, we have the grade emails that was posted and will be reposted. So you can send in your queries via the emails or via WhatsApp messaging, and we will answer accordingly. Persons who are not in a class group, if you're not in a classroom, could you please share that information? Post the number, the WhatsApp number, the name, parent name, and name of student and the grade that they are in. So we can add you to the WhatsApp group as well, and we can also add you to the email group if you send us your email. Ms. Becker.
Yes, miss. Which grade 9 classes will be going on the red and blue shifts respectively?
All right. 9B to E will be on the red shift. That is 6th grade 9 classes, and 9P to T will be on the blue shift. I will again share that aspect of the agenda as soon as I share my screen again.
With regards to grade 11, Parents would like to know if all grade 11 students will be recommended to sit all the subjects that they are now taking. And also, as it relates to grade 11, someone wants to know what measures are going to be in place with regards to the voluntary service in light of COVID. So, voluntary service, and if everyone will sit exams.
All right, so for examinations, the students in grade 11 and those on the accelerated students recommend themselves for sitting up any examination. Colleagues, parents, I will remind you that all students come into school with an average 70%, and we beg students to maintain at least the 70% and move up. Where is that students would have had below 55% because the government is paying for the subjects that are subsidized by the government. Their grades must be 55% or more. So on their examinations, the last examination, which would have been December examinations, because none was there for June, for the December examinations, once your results for each subject year would have been 55% or more, the government, you will automatically qualify yourself to be sitting at the examination in CXC or SSC or NCT vet. However, if there are students who would have, by whatever reason, gotten grades for a particular subject below 55%, it is on the basis of the teacher's recommendation, and the teacher would know the child over a year or a year and plus to say this child with additional effort should be able to sit, and the teacher will recommend that child to sit that subject. But overall, parents, students recommend themselves to do their own examination based on the effort that they put in their work subject. It's 55%. Students come here with an average 70%, and we are asking and we're begging and we're appealing to students to maintain that average. With that said, every single student who step into Bridgeport High School, they can sit every single subject that they do. And I must point out that in addition to passing the subject at the minimum 55% per subject, students must do their SBAs. So if it is that they are required to do 3 pieces of SBA, you see what happened this year, colleague parent? This year, because of COVID-19, it is the SBA grades that were assessed plus a multiple choice paper. So if students fail to do an SBA, then they're definitely going to fail the paper. And you say, okay, so the multiple choice and students failing, they're going to fail because there's a heavy weight on SBAs this year more than ever. And every piece of SBA were moderated. Persons from CXC came and they moderated every single piece of SBA. They had to see them, and they come and make the comparison between what they would have scored with the teacher score. They had to see the SBA. So students need to get serious. So every student recommend themselves on the number of subjects that they would sit based on the grades that they have. So students now, we have to pop up ourselves and we have to ensure that what we want out of schooling, we get out of it. For the whole matter of voluntary service, we are refining and retuning in terms of voluntary service. It is an expectation that our students must do voluntary service. How? For this year, I know we are curtailing in terms of the number of hours, and we're going to be splitting the number of hours in half. And also, we're going to send a revised document for the voluntary service. So for this year only, until we see what happens, for voluntary service for persons who are part of a club, they will get credit hours for being part of a club. For persons who serve, I know Ms. Banton from the book room administrators appealing to grade 11 students who wish to come to do a couple hours of voluntary service. We're cutting down to 30 hours. They can come in and do so at the book room. There are some things that we need piling and so on, and some things to be done. Grade 11 current students know, if you so wish, you can come in and find out from Mrs. Banton the need, and you can come to assist. Also, I know that there are several ministry, government offices that will not facilitate at this time additional bodies or additional persons coming in, neither to the voluntary service nor to offer jobs. So we are cognizant of that. So if there are persons, if there are students who can do voluntary service, even at their primary school or so on, you are advised to do so. Otherwise, get involved in your club. And for this year, we are going to be moving with clubs and society. Most of our meetings or all of our meetings will be online. The teachers will have to know that you are there, recorded that you are there. It's only the practical aspect of the volunteers of the clubs and societies that we will be utilizing on the ground in small groups. For example, a Red Cross group, that part of their activity is drill. So we can do sensitization of drill and patterns of drill online, but the students get to know how to do it. We may have to do a few sessions on the practical area of drill. And I know for 4-H and other clubs that they would have to do some aspect of the practical areas for the clubs face to face. But that is when it is very safe, very, very safe for the students to do so, to stay back and do so for clubs. But clubs will be online or facilitated online, and any practical component will be done in small groups. So once students are involved in clubs and societies, they will be getting award club hours, and that will be taken off parts of their voluntary service. We will be cutting down the number of voluntary hours by half this year. It is usually 60 hours. It will now be 30 hours. But we will send out an updated document, re-COVID-19, how we will treat with voluntary service, including all of what I would have mentioned.
Another parent, Miss, would like to know if it is possible to collect books, rental books for grade 8 students before school begins. And if so, when can this be accommodated?
Grade 8 students, grade 8 and grade 9 students, books, once the parents came in for purchasing of uniforms or accessories, grade 8 and 9, on the 26th and 27th, their books were issued to them. For persons who did not come for books for grade 8 and grade 9, they can come anytime the office is open, which include tomorrow and next week. So we will be closing office, as I said, on Thursday, also on Friday to facilitate a staff meeting. And then on Monday, we are back to school. So yes, once the parents come, the students can get their books. That is for grades 8 and grade 9. Grade 7 books will be distributed when they come in face-to-face. We're hoping, as the ministry had indicated, that we will be getting the educational app, which would include up to 85% of the textbook program. So once we get that, we will feed that app to parents so you can download, and the need for the physical text will be eliminated. But for now, grade 8 and 9 can come in for their books. Grade 10, we'll have to wait until the students come back face to face, and I will tell parents who are online that the grade 11 who have left, there are several students who have still not returned their books. So now we have limited number of books for the grade 10, and we are hoping that throughout this extended time that we will have more students coming in to take in their books, so we can replenish and distribute to the new grade 10. So there are 2 grades that will be out for books, grade 7 and grade 10, and those students will get them when they come in face to face on the 5th, or starting the 5th. Grade 11 students, current grade 11 now, that will move from grade 10 now to grade 11. They have their books from grade 10. They are using the same books. They are continuing with the same books. So they have their text, so there's no worry there. So that's for the book rental.
Thank you, Miss. I will do 2 questions in one. Question: are vouchers available? A parent is asking because the child came in and was told that there was no voucher available. The child is in grade 11. Also, student package was picked up, and the parent is saying no medical form was in it. So they want to know if medicals are still required because there is no medical package there is no medical form in the package. So vouchers and the medical form, please.
For vouchers, and I will tell parents, I'm just going to try and find the letter. For vouchers, we have facilitated transfers directly to the account for parents who are paying fees, because I know the lines are long at the bank, but vouchers are at school. I will inform, I will get from my bursar if there was a shortage of vouchers, because I know in CB that we have our account with there was an issue in terms of paying by vouchers, but we had vouchers and we have been issuing vouchers to our students. I will find out and give you that information shortly. For the packages, if there's no medical in that package, it would have been an oversight. But I'm just going to ask you kindly for the parent who missed the medical just to come in and collect a form. That would have been that package would have been missed the form. Ms. Palmer, you wanted to? That's
Mrs. Harris, there are a few parents who are asking if the option to do online classes only instead of the blended approach can be facilitated.
For the online classes only, it's something that we will have to work in details to see if it can be facilitated for any particular student, but right now, no. And for grade 11, no. Right now, it is not something that we have worked out totally for a total online package. But we will facilitate online learning as well as additional supplementary material. I will have for the person who have indicated such, I'm just going to ask them to inbox one of the administrators on the Bridgeport High School WhatsApp group, so we can advise you and have you work with the guidance counselors exactly how we can work that out. So we can one-to-one in terms of how we can sort you out if there is an issue with coming into school or the child has some illnesses that you are fearful of sending out the child out. So inbox us directly or inbox one of the administrators, and we will be working with you in terms of how to sort that out. But right now, for total online package for any particular child, no, but we have the blended approach.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Harris. 2 other questions. There is a parent who is still asking if orientation will be done on Monday, and there are a few parents who are asking if it is possible for them to know what form classes their children will be going in.
All right. I'll answer that when I'm doing the calendar of events. Just remind me, Ms. Beckford. Next.
Orientation Monday?
Yes. Orientation, colleagues, for the orientation that we had in our previous meeting with you, we had orientation to start Monday, because remember that school should have been started Monday, moving straight in September. We have to shelve what we have, so orientation, we have to reschedule orientation, and orientation will be virtual, and we have the dates that I will post to you like now.
All right. There is another parent who is asking if sufficient laptops are available for all grades 7 to 9 students, or if it's going to be distributed on a first come, first served basis.
So I can get it clear. The laptops, you mean that which the government is providing? The laptops the government is providing is for past students only in this first phase. When we know if there's a second phase for additional students, parents will be so informed. So it's the past students for tablets for grades 7 to 9, those we have not gotten as yet, and laptops for grades 10 to 13. We are the process has been worked out in terms of students how they get them, and these Once the students get these and parents get these, it will be treated similar to the book rental program where once students get it, they keep and care and they sign it up in at the end of the school year and they get them back to continue in the second year.
Oh wow, there are a number of questions that are coming in. There is a question that was reposted that I'd like to ask. Mrs. Harris, a parent is asking, in light of the fact that students missed classes from March, will diagnostic tests be done to check where the students are in terms of their gaps in learning? How will that be done once we return?
When we come in, that's what the mandate that the ministry has given us, that once we return and start classes, we're going to be doing, and we cannot do so right now virtual because, as we said, there are some hindrances with some students, and we will not have equity in doing that if we do it online. So once we return, we have the go-ahead for the 5th of October now. So in light of that, we are planning for the 5th of October. Once the students come in on the 5th of October, and we do the preliminaries with them, we are going to be moving into doing a revision of what is it that the students would have should have had, and moving into assessing our students before we move into going to the new grade material. So there will be an assessment of all students as they come in on the first week of school, the 5th of October, or if any other changes that are made. Ms. Beckford, just allow me for the parents who have asked in terms of orientation. So we have switched from the 7th of September orientation, and we're going to be moving to virtual grade orientation. I am saying this now, that the dates given, we're going to be sticking to these, and we're starting on time. It will be the different grades. We're going to go grade 7, and we're going to be using the mode of Zoom along with the YouTube connection for meetings. The grade 7 will be Tuesday the 22nd at 4 p.m. And I know for the PEP, and it's really focusing for the students now to do the orientation. It will be, these are the areas that we'll be looking at closely. The blended modality learning expectations in depth, protocols, reminders, class timetables, those will be given, grade curriculum, the online resources, and sensitization videos. That's what we're going to be looking at, and any other matter. So these are the days for PEP grade 7, the 22nd of September at 4 p.m. These are the new orientation dates. Grade 8, the 23rd at 10. Grade 9, the 23rd at 2. Grade 10, the 24th at 10. And grade 11, the 24th at 2. Starting on the 28th of September, all being well, we will have virtual class orientation, and we will tell you when we meet on these days. So when we meet on these days, we will tell you, starting on the 28th with grade 7, we will tell you how the grades are going to go and their link. So please ensure for this meeting that all students are on these at these meetings. For the 22nd for grade 7, the 23rd for grade 8 and 9 at 10 and 2 respectively, and the 24th for grades 10 and 11, 10 and 2 p.m. respectively. So these are the dates for the virtual orientations, and we're expecting to do a 2.5-hour meeting max. All right, so students will get their timetable at that time because we have to redo our timetables to facilitate the blended approach to learning, and for those days that we're having face-to-face as well as virtual learning. These are the numbers, and I'm leaving them here so persons can see them. They would have been told to you. So this is our WhatsApp digital Bridgeport number that you can inbox to the number. Any other additional matters? The 827 number is the Bridgeport Guidance Department number. And then we have these 3 numbers for individual counselors for psychosocial all-in counseling program that you can also access. You can also send WhatsApp messages once messages come to any one of these lines, in addition to our regular 988-4489 number. These are cell numbers that I know persons you can send in WhatsApp messages. Please, when you're sending in messages, could you indicate your name and also the name of the child and the class the child is in? We will better be able to respond regarding the matter. All right, so that's it for the meeting. If there are any other questions, we'll take that at this time. That's it, Miss?
No, Miss. There are parents who are concerned about the accelerated program for students going into grade 10. They want to know if it will start on September 14, and how will the students know that whether or not they're a part of the program.
All right, so for the week of September 14, we will be contacting the accelerated students, and we will let them know. Most of them, the teachers would have had their contact from grade 9 for those going grade 10. For grade 8, we will get your contact. Those persons who are on the accelerated program, your grades would have been 70% and over from the December exam. So if you are, we will be getting in contact with you, and we will be starting your program just like grades 11 and 13. You will start your program online because it's a one-year program that you will have to do. And I'm hoping that most persons would have a gadget so we can start the program with you during the week of September 14th.
Thank you, Miss. Coming from YouTube again, there is a parent who is expressing the concern because the child is asthmatic, and they're saying it's not safe, and she's afraid because the asthma and the COVID. Kindly advise.
Again, for those persons who have comorbidities, we're just going to ask you just to inbox us again on the WhatsApp number. We will tell you in terms of your timetable and the dates for the virtual orientation. For those days that if it is that the child cannot come out or there is a fear or so on, we need to get a medical to indicate such so we can have it on file. Because whilst the students should come on the days for face-to-face, we will be marking the register. We will also be marking the register on the distant learning as well. So if it is that a child is unable to come in physically because the child would have had issues with her in terms of coming to meet with others or having asthma or other sinusitis or any other problems that would deter the students from coming in, please send in the medical to state such and inbox us so that our guidance team can work out something with those students, and we can know if it is 10 grade 7, 5 grade 8 students and so on, and we will work out with you how best to treat with the cases for classes.
Thank you. As it relates to finances, there's a parent, and I'm going to read this. Good evening. Please comment on the school fee, about paying the $5,000, what the government said. And there's another parent who is, so that is one comment, and there's another parent who is asking if we can share banking details for the payments to be made online.
All right. Miss, I'm going to answer this question, and Miss Palmer, I'm going to ask you to address the other questions for me. I'm going to get the documentation for the online payment and share it on screen as well. So it's the package for $5,000. I'm assuming that is a new student.
I'm not sure, Miss.
Because anything that is mentioned for $5,000 is the new students package, and this is a returning student meeting. But is there for the enhancement fee to be paid? We will put up that information in terms of paying online, and we're asking parents, we're asking you for your support. No more than ever, we need the support, so we're asking parents to honor in terms of the payments to be made. But if there are persons there with challenges or so on, you can come in and speak with Miss Beckford, the bursar, and she can indicate to you what is it that you can do in order to resolve the problem that you may have at the time. All right. So in terms of individual discussion in terms of how to treat with your situation, we would rather do it one-to-one.
Mrs. Palmer?
Yes.
Another question. Student is planning to repeat grade 11, but the parents, guardians are not here in the island. The student would like to know, or the person who is asking would like to know how they can proceed.
Okay, as it relates to repeating grade 11, based on the situation with COVID and the space issue, we are not intending to have any repeaters. However, the sixth form, the technical sixth form, that's the new sixth form that Mrs. Vogel Archer spoke about today, would give the child the opportunity to move to sixth form, do one of three programs, either the customer engagement, barbering, or nail tech, along with the entrepreneurship section of the course. It also allows them to write CXC exams. So we have that to offer instead of repeating grade 11.
Thank you. Also on sixth form, 2 questions related to sixth form. Someone would like to know about the interview process for grade 12 students. They want to know if the interviews will still be done, 1, and 2, another person is asking what are the requirements for sixth form.
Ms. Vogel Archer, she's here, she could answer that question.
Mrs. Archer?
Yes, sorry about that.
Did you hear the questions, Mrs. Archer?
To qualify for sixth form?
Yes, please.
Okay, so for the traditional pathway.
I'm sorry, let me just give both questions. Qualifying for sixth form 1 and 2, will the interviews still be done?
Okay, thank you. For the traditional pathway, the requirements are 5 CSEC subjects in the areas which the students wish to pursue. So for example, if a student wishes to do chemistry at Cape, they are required to pass chemistry at the CSEC level with grades 1 or 2. Also, they must ensure that they have a pass 1 or 2 in English language. So 5 CSEC subjects, English being compulsory. Okay, as it relates to the interview, we are yet to finalize what direction we'll take with that, whether we'll do face-to-face. That is what is still on the table, but we are going to see what progresses with the COVID-19, and then we will take it from there. But persons will be notified once they have dropped off their application form. We will call them and notify them as to what direction we'll be taking regarding the interview. Interviews are crucial in understanding the students, giving them the best pitch in terms of which subjects will fit their career choice. So it is something that we are looking and hoping will be done.
Thank you, Mrs. Archer. Another question. There's someone who is still currently.
Ms. Beckford.
Yes, miss.
In addition to that, in terms of the dates that we had for interviews, we have to change those, and that will be determined as soon as the results are out. As soon as the results are out, thereafter we will be calling the students for interviews. We already have the application. And for those students who have not yet submitted their application for one reason or the other, please feel free to come in and drop them off during the hours of 9 to 3 p.m. 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. As soon as results are out, we will be calling in students for interviews at that time. And based on what happens, as Mrs. Vogel Archer indicated, depends on what is happening with COVID-19 at the time, we may have to have virtual interviews, or we will have to space out in terms of the interviews and how many persons come on what day and time. That's
Mrs. Archer, there's a follow-up question. Mrs. Archer, can you take this one, please? Someone is asking, what is the criteria for entering grade 13?
And we are talking about students who are currently in grade 12?
I'm assuming so.
Okay, so for students who are currently in grade 12, the criteria is that they would not have failed more than one CAPE subject. So based on the result, they should have passed all or just fail one. If they fail more than one, they will not matriculate to grade 13. In addition, there are other factors which may disqualify students from continuing, excuse me, with the grade 13 program, such as if they were if their conduct was poor, they were continuously missing classes, and we will have to look on their file to ascertain those. But once a student has passed their subject, not failing more than one, they will matriculate to grade 13. Students are usually informed via the parent group or the WhatsApp groups we have with the children regarding when their vouchers will be ready and when they are required to start classes. So it's not a hectic process as with the grade 12. So once they have not failed more than one, they automatically matriculate, and there is nothing on their file preventing them from continuing in grade 13.
Thank you very much, Miss. There are a few questions, Mrs. Palmer. I'm not sure if Mrs. Harris is back or if you can take these. There is a question, do you have to pay fees before collecting the book rentals? And also, when will we be collecting the vouchers from the fees that have already been paid?
Okay, the book for the fees and book rental, you get your books whether or not the fees are paid. So the fees being paid has nothing to do with collecting the books. And the fees that are paid, you take it in upon registration. The day for registration, that's when you take the voucher, register the child, they'll get their card to collect their books and so on. So fees has nothing to do with collecting the books. Whether or not it is paid, yes, you can collect the book.
Thank you very much. Another question. The parent would like to know what can be done in her situation where she will not or he will not be able to make it for orientation.
Hopefully we'll have it recorded.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And with regards to the Zoom platform, a question is being asked if it is the paid platform or if the access to the Zoom platform will be free.
Excuse me?
The question is, if we are going to be using the paid Zoom platform or if the use of Zoom for classroom purposes, if it will be free.
We purchased the package for Zoom.
Okay.
So it's a purchase package that we are using.
Okay. I have gone through a number of the questions. Mrs. Harris, Mrs. Palmer, Dr. Levy is in the meeting.
Dr. Levy in the meeting? So
yes.
We could allow him to give his greeting. Dr. Levy, good afternoon or good evening now.
Hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Welcome and good evening.
I I've been listening quite a while.
Okay. Didn't tell I.
So,
We're not hearing you clearly.
Oh.
No.
Are you hearing me now?
No, that answers the question. Yes, yes, sir.
All right, I'll stay right here.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, let's go right ahead and bring greetings on behalf of the board. I'm very encouraged by what I've been hearing concerning the preparation of Bridgeport High for the reopening of school. And I just want to encourage the teachers, our stakeholders, our parents, and everybody involved to just pull together and make these challenges a stepping stone to success. I think Bridgeport has done admirably in preparing the school for our students. And it is just now for our students to take advantage of the preparations that have been made, for the parents to encourage the students and to support them and to motivate them, their children, our children, and to let us make this year a success despite all the challenges. So on behalf of the board, I just want to bring a quick greeting and encouragement to everyone, all the stakeholders involved. We are very, very supportive of the administration of Bridgeport High School headed by Mrs. Harris, our principal. And we are very, very happy of what we see happening despite our challenges. Challenges might even get more serious, but I think we will rise to these challenges. And if we pull together, obey all the protocols, and work together, I think we can make a success of this year. So on behalf of the board, I just want to say how encouraged we are by what we have heard in this meeting. And I'm sure because of the participation, the questions that have been asked, I'm sure our parents have been encouraged by what they hear and what they have seen already. So thanks for allowing me to speak on behalf of the board and to express our thanks, our encouragement, our support for all of the Bridgeport School family. Thank you once again, and good evening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Levy, and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Yes, Miss. Spectre?
There is a reminder. I think the final one that I have is a reminder for us to share the banking information, online banking information. I trust that I have picked up all the questions. I tried very hard to pick up all the questions. If anyone
there's one that is asking if the parent, I think, I just lost the chat. I think it says if the parent has to be present with the child to collect the books. Can the student collect books without the parent or guardian? Yes, they can.
All right, Ms. Beckford, I'll just pick up from here. I just want to thank Dr. Levy for coming in. Also, we had our past student past president, as well as our PTA president who brought greetings. Thanks so very much, Dr. Levy, for gracing your presence. I know that you're awfully busy, particularly at this time, and we just continue to pray up in terms of your health as you look about the health and wellness of us individuals. In terms of the information concerning payment of vouchers, we have for the enhancement fee voucher, this is the number and you can transfer the funds. Once it is done, I'm going to ask parents, if you pay online, please to WhatsApp or email the school to indicate the payment and the name of your child, please. Also, we have for the PTA account, this is the account number for the PTA. The same thing prevails. If you pay online, please send to us. your payment voucher as well, so we know. You can send it online at bridgeport_02@yahoo.com, or you can do it at bridgeport.high.sce@moey.gov.jm. So you can send those. There's someone who had indicated about grade 11 and no vouchers. Vouchers, I just went to check the vouchers are here at school. We do have physical vouchers for the same accounts at NCB for the enhancement fee as well as for PTA. There's someone who was indicated about payment of $5,000 for package for new students package. That is students coming in at PEP. Please note we're not taking any transfer of students for grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11. For new students who come in for PEP, it is $5,000 for the package. That's the same government indication rate that they have indicated. That is to be paid when you get your package. You will be getting your enhancement fee vouchers as well as your PTA. I will reiterate in terms of grade 11, there will be no repeat for grade 11. We do not have the space for grade 11. For students who would have had their 5 years of completion, this year starting, the government is going rigidly at expanding the grade 12 program. And we are on board with the expanded grade 12 program. So students who, for those persons who are indicated about repeating grade 11, it simply means that students may want to catch up in terms of a few more subject areas that they weren't able to sit, because I'm sure you would have passed, or you are looking to pass all those subjects that you did sit. So the additional subjects that you did not get to sit, you would want to do so. With the technical program, and it's just a reinforcement, in addition to a skill area that you will learn, and this will be assessed through HART, NTA, in addition to the skill area, the employability skill, entrepreneurship, students will also be allowed to do additional subjects, and up to 1, 2, or 3 subjects. Math and English, if you do math in City and Guilds at grade 12 technical, the government will pay for that. But if it's that you're doing English or math in CXC, the government give that benefit for payment subsidy only at grade 11 once. So even if you repeat, you will still have to pay for it at CXC. It's not so much, but all students who are thinking of a repeat for grade 11, there's no repeat. We have the expanded grade 12, so you can apply. You have to go through the application for the sixth form application, and based on your passes, if it's 5 subjects or more, it's traditional. Please note it's grades 1 and 2, 5 subjects including English language. For students who would attain 3 or 4 subjects, grades 1, 2, or 3, you will be enlisted for the technical program, and you will be able to do additional CXC subjects in addition to skill area, entrepreneurship, and employability skills. All right. Let me just move back up to the classes, because some persons were asking again, possibly, especially those persons on YouTube who had some difficulties. Let me just remind you again, for the redshift, that we will begin school for the redshift grade 7, 8, and 9, October 5, that is face-to-face. And we will be doing virtual orientations, and I would have shared the dates with you not too long. So face-to-face, so it's 3 days for grade 7 and grade 8, starting October 5, all being well. And we're hoping that this is the peak now, and we will be trending COVID-19 cases down. So starting October 5, grade 7 and 8, 3 days face-to-face, and 2 days off-site teaching. And the days are here showing grades 9, and those that will be on the red shift will be 9B, R1, IDG, and 9E will be on the red shift. They will be coming in for 4 days. You will know that at grade 9, the students do much more in terms of the number of subjects that they do, preparing them for the grade 10, 11 CXC program. Again, I will emphasize that we will have a staggered start time and a staggered lunch and end time. For grade 7, 8, and 9, who comes on the red shift, they will come at 11:45. Grade 7 will start at 11:45. And they will have devotion and start classes exactly 12 o'clock. Grades 8 and 9 will start their classes at 12:30, so they come from 12 o'clock and they will have devotion. So it will be staggered, and we are trying as best as possible to eliminate the number of persons who will be on campus at any given point. Please note, as I will say again, that our classrooms can only accommodate 15 students at 6-foot social distancing. We normally have 40 and 42 students per class. It is no more. So that's the reason we can only accommodate few days face-to-face and the other days outside teaching. All right? And for the blue shift, it is grades 9, P, O, R2, and T, and the blue shift. And the blue shift will begin 6:45 and end at 12 noon for grade 9. Grades 10 to 13 will end at 2:30. For grades 10 and 11, it is some days that will end at 2:30. Grades 12 and 13, all days end at 2:30. But please note, for grades 12 and 13, the students will come in only on the days that they will come in for classes each day, and at the end of their class, they will be allowed to leave. Note that for sixth form students are doing just the courses for CAPE. Some students are bringing 5 CAPE courses, 4 CAPE courses. So when they have classes on those days, they will come in for their classes and they will leave at the end of the class. They have up to 12 o'clock each day to come in for classes each day. Also, we are looking at staggering the time, staggering lunchtime and end time. So we don't have students in clusters moving in, moving for break, or moving outwards. So just a reminder for the classes. And I will remind again in terms of the date for the next meeting. Grade 7 will be on the 22nd at 4 p.m. Grade 8, the 23rd at 10. Grade 9, and we're focusing on our students for 2.5 hours max meeting. Grade 10, the 23rd, the 24th, at 10, and grade 11, the 24th at 2. At this meeting, when we have virtual orientation, we will tell you the detail for our next class orientation, where you will be meeting your teachers in class, and you will, in terms of the times and your Zoom numbers and log-on credentials, we will give you at that meeting in detail, so you know exactly. So we're looking to see all our students. So if it is that you're not on our system, you're not on the WhatsApp group, you're not in the email address, please post to the chat or inbox us at these numbers that you have, either through the guidance numbers or the WhatsApp digital number for the school. Again, the vouchers for payment for those persons who will pay online, and I'm hoping that we can do much of the transfers online to eliminate you having to stand in line at the bank to make your payments at the online, and forward to us receipt of payment via email or even via WhatsApp. But you must indicate name of parent, name of child, and grade. That's it for the meeting. Unless we have any other question that need to be answered, Ms. Beckford, could you just check the chat for us, please?
Yes, Miss, I just picked up one. There is a parent who is asking if he or she has to come in with the child to collect the book rental.
Oh, I think it was answered already. No.
Okay.
No, they don't have, the parent don't have to come in.
And what would the child need in order to collect the rental?
Carrying for the students who are collecting book rentals, please note, parents, the child must take in all books from the previous grade. If they're out one, they need to take in that book from the previous grade. If it is that the book would have been misplaced or lost, please come in and speak with Miss Banton. I would rather the parent come in, because Miss Banton will let you know what is the grade of that book, because if it's a grade A, grade B, or grade C, in terms of the replacement cost is different. But if it's a brand new book, the parents would have to repurchase that, so we can have the stuff to give to the new student. All books from the previous grade must be in, so we can allot the new grade books to you. I shall remind you also that the ministry had informed principals at our meeting that educational app will be out from the ministry to include up to 85% of book rental text, but until that time, we will have to do what we have with our physical text, and we will be given to grades 8 and 9 during the month of September. Grades 10 will remain until we come back, and we are imploring grade 11 who have left, just concluded new grade 11 students, you just left, to bring in your textbook, because the new grade 10 need to get those. Grade 11, the current grade 11 now would have had their books from grade 10. It's the same books and same subjects that you keep them to the end of grade 11. Just to remind our grade 11 student and parents at graduation, that is the grade 11 would have just completed graduation, will be in November, but we will be keeping in touch in terms of the details on that, and COVID will dictate what we do. All right, so that's it for the meeting. Now we just want to thank you all.
Mrs. Harris? I'm sorry. There are a number of questions in the chat, and I noticed that they're coming primarily from YouTube. Maybe these are persons who joined late, because a number of the issues would have already been addressed. Two things, Miss. Can we share how they can access the meeting, one, and two, the information that will be posted to the various websites?
Repeat again for me, how they can access the meeting? The
meeting, yes, and the vital information like the account numbers and the orientation dates, where these information can be posted, can be accessed outside of this meeting. And I think if we do that, it will cover a lot of the other questions that are just now coming in.
Okay, like for these, all right, I'm going to be having these placed on the Facebook page as well as the Instagram page. And also the meeting for today will be placed on the YouTube channel. So we will ensure that the information is there for the parents to have access to them. All right. And also we will remind parents in the WhatsApp group as well of the dates of meeting. And as soon as we do, which by next week after the election, all of this crazy time, we will be posting in terms of the link to the meeting and the reminders for the meeting dates. To both WhatsApp group, email address, social media sites, all the areas as possible. So we will meet as many parents or all our parents or students at our next meeting. That's it, Miss. So that's it, Miss Beckford, in terms of comments from YouTube.
Yes, Miss. The questions are basically if the information is posted, most of the questions will be answered, Miss.
Okay. So once again, we just want to thank everyone who have stayed with us for this time. We had planned to go a maximum 2 hours meeting or 2.5 hours. Those persons who came on, we knew we had challenges at one point. Thank you for staying the course, and we will ensure that the information to be had, you will get them. And we're asking for your full cooperation in this time. And as we get the information, we will move. I will let grade 11 and 13 students know that we will begin with you. Your subject teachers will be contacting you for start of classes virtually, starting the 14th of September. All other grades will begin the 5th of October, but we will have orientation dates as is stated here on the shared screen, and we will be posting these to you. Have a great day and take care, as I say, of yourself, take care of your family, and remember there's only one you, and if you don't take care of you, no one else will. So take care of you first, and remember we are in this thing together, and we will rise above this pandemic in one accord. So we're asking everybody take care of yourself, continue to wear a mask, try as best as possible to keep your social distance, because and continue to use your hand sanitizers daily. As much as we can, if we can avoid the crowds, try to, because we need to keep ourselves safe, we need to keep ourselves healthy, we need to be alive and to be well for our children. As we move into this COVID 19 pandemic and onwards and into the new school year, there's so much, but I'm hoping and I know for sure that the trend in terms of the cases should be going down. So thanks again, everyone, and we look forward to seeing you at your next meeting, the first one being the 22nd of September for grade 7 and moving on the 24th. And grade 11 students, we will be talking to you regarding online classes and online classes for the 14th, starting the 14th of September. Thank you so very much. God bless. Remember, accelerated students, we will also be talking to you on the 14th virtually as well. Thank you.